Hello, this is Todd Nessa for Godly America. We've been watching on part one some different evidence in regards to not only Obama's birth, his citizenship in Indonesia, and the fact that Indonesia did not allow dual citizenship, and also the fact that the only religion that he was allowed was Muslim, which was in his school records, and he went to a Muslim school. And we also saw where he let his guard down just from being tired on the campaign trail and stated his Muslim faith. He slipped because he didn't want us to know, of course, but he slipped, and he stated Muslim faith in an interview. And why would he do that? I mean, you just don't say something like that accidentally. And when you're really, really wore out, sometimes the truth gets out there. This is a cold case posse investigation. We started watching this towards the end of part two. We learned a little bit about the type spacing on the birth certificate and how typewriters always are spaced perfectly evenly, and the fact that the type spacing was inconsistent in the birth certificate that was released. Let's go back and watch.
The certificate numbers are out of sequence compared to the date numbers issued by the same Department of Health only 3 days later. Federal mandate, it is consecutive numbering. This one isn't.
That was federal mandate.
There is the presence of a graphic image feature calling unsharp mask on Obama's certificate of live birth. It's a software feature that's found in Adobe Photoshop and Illustrator. That could be one of the reasons for the white halo, but the white halo really shouldn't be there. There is also a difference in the colors of the text. There's a difference in the letter A on one line compared to the letter A on another. The letter H on one line compared to the letter H on another. Now, I hate to break the bubble of computer geniuses and hackers, but this is old school police work, and this is about ink. And there are people out there that know what they're talking about, and you can't get away with it. The two different typewriters, we believe, were utilized in the creation of this document. What that really means in today's language, this is a cut and paste job from 2 different or 3 different birth certificates.
So what he's saying here is that you can't get away with this information when you have experts. The reason why he's been able to get away with it so much is we have a public at large which really doesn't care, unfortunately. They're not interested in the truth. We have a remnant of those who do care, who are awake, who seek the truth, who care about the truth. But unless you're a seeker, a pursuer of truth, man, there's so many people. That's how corruption rules. Is, people, they just don't care. They're only concerned about themselves and their existence in life, and what they're caught up in. Excuse me, just a minute. They're not concerned about the overall implications of their self-absorbed and selfish behavior. And they'll just give people a pass. They'll want to believe the best to a fault, even though obviously that we're not living in a perfect storybook world here. There really is corruption. There really is corrupt people. There are people who will steal, kill, and destroy for power. They don't care. And it's not even money that they want, many of them, because they've got it already. It's just the power and control. The power and control. So let's go back and we'll watch here some more.
This is atrocious. This is beyond amateuristic. I don't even know what you call this.
See, he's talking about how amateuristic these documents, which they've proved beyond any shadow of a doubt, were forged. And if you remember, just a couple minutes ago, they said it was like a cut and paste job from 3 different people using different typewriters.
That was good. We have a lot of digging to do. I am entertaining the thought of maybe doing a round table with the experts all in the same room. I cringe about that, though, because these people are so ingrained in what they believe, they try to devour each other if somebody comes out and says something else.
If people, I'm stopping there to make this comment, if they're enslaved to sin in their life, a particular belief system that enables their sinful behavior or their sinful lifestyle, whatever it is, they're going to want to make excuses for the corruption of others. And that's what he's really talking about here, and that's what he's up against. Why else would you want to believe a lie that goes against the evidence of people that are experts that have been working with stuff for decades? I'm talking not only investigators, but just people who have worked with typesetting for their whole career that can easily be able to spot a forgery such as this one, or people that work with Photoshop and can tell if something's been layered in a document. Let's return.
I am hoping that we do have an opportunity to go deeper into this document, because if we do, some of it's a little mind-numbing, but when it's done, there is no doubt. We believe, like the sheriff said, there is probable cause to believe that this is a forgery. We are on the hunt to find out who did it, and we have some pretty good ideas.
And they know more than they're telling us. Why isn't this nationwide?
This for free? I mean, people all this for free. This got to be a couple 100,000 up to now. You get it for free.
Okay, it's over your country.
It is for my country. You're exactly right.
We love you for it.
It's for my country. It's for my family.
There are people still that love this country and love what it stands for,
this country is changing
and love freedom.
before my eyes. We'll take some questions later. Just hang on to them a minute. I want to move on to something that came to light that was even more shocking, especially for me, was the selective service card. I'm not even going to talk about it. I'm just going to show you the video, then we'll comment on it, and then we'll take some questions after that. I'm going to ask the sheriff to come back up here to answer some questions.
Before we do that, let me just say one thing, and that's that Obama obviously here is not acting alone, that there is a cadre of people around him. One thing I want to look at here is, and I'm not sure if I have that story pulled up or not, but I'd like to find it, is the person who was the postman that would deliver mail to Bill Ayers, I think Senior. I wanted to say Bill Ayers' father, but I think it's Bill Ayers' father is Bill Ayers Senior. I could be wrong on that, but he used to deliver mail to him, and he said he remembered seeing, and I got to find that somewhere. It was on I forget the name of the website offhand, but at any rate, it was a video that where this person went on record, a retired postman went on record saying that they had told him that there was a foreign student that they were paying for his education, and one day, years later, that foreign student came after he graduated just to pay the Ayers a visit. And he was talking before that point also about conversations with this man and how he was obviously a communist, and he believed that he knew better than this man did. He'd ask him questions about if he was happy in his job and happy with his employment status of life, and he was basically showing that he had communist philosophy in his communication. But going back to what I was getting ready to say just a minute ago is the fact that this man shows up delivering the mail. This young black man shows up as he's delivering, this retired postman is delivering the mail, and he identified this person as being the current president of the United States, Barack Obama. And he said that, and it just struck him that he asked him, well, what are you going to do? Because he had just graduated from school, right? So he wanted to ask him what he was going to do. And he said that, well, he was going to become president of the United States one day. And he said the way he said it, it wasn't like somebody saying, you know, just that they, out of a belief, out of a faith in themselves, and that's what they really felt called to do with their life. The way he said it, it was like a statement of fact. WorldNet Daily, that's who had that site. And I did have that posted, and if I can find it, I will go ahead and bring that up. But this may be going into a 3-part or more series here. So let's get back to taking a look here now at the Social Security card.
I don't know, he's not giving me the happy look. Okay.
We're about ready to see a video
Can we roll the
of
next
the
video?
forgery.
Was Barack Obama's selective service card really received by the post office on July 29th, 1980? What exactly is the concern with Barack Obama's selective service registration? We reviewed multiple selective service registration cards. These are just 4 examples. Notice the date stamps on all 4 contain 4 digits for the year-decade marking. This is a copy of the date stamp from Barack Obama's original selective service registration.
But if you got a public that's dumbed down, guess what? Guess what they accept?
These
This.
photographs illustrate a standard pica stamp that was used during the 1980s era. The photograph on the upper right shows the pica stamp compartments and stamps that needed to be changed out daily, monthly, and yearly. The picture on the bottom right is an example of a loaded pica stamp. These 5 examples are the expected results from the pica stamp used by the United States Post Office. The 2 examples on the far left are from the same post office where Barack Obama supposedly turned in his selective service paperwork. Per the United States Post Office, it is policy to use a stamp that contains 4 digits for the year. The stamp below is Mr. Barack Obama's, and it contains only 2 digits for the year. Why? This photograph shows a pica 2008 year stamp and a pica 80 stamp. Since there are no 1980 pica year stamps available, the 2008 was cut between the 2 zeros and inverted. This inverted cut stamp creates a similar effect, which closely resembles the one seen in Barack Obama's selective service registration card. This illustration shows what the 2008 pica stamp looks like when cut in half and then inverted. In conclusion, as you can see by looking at the side-by-side comparison below, there is a clear difference between the authentic stamp shown on the right and Mr. Barack Obama's on the left. Look at the distance between the 0 and the innermost circle of the stamp. Look at the distance to the right of the 0 and beneath the 0. The reason the numbers 8 and 0 are out of position on Barack Obama's registration card is because when the numbers 08 were cut away from the year 2008, they were not cut squarely. Or perhaps put another way, the person who cut them cut too close to the 0. So when 08...
We'll see you on part 3.